Mark of Horror here with Hugsy, and yesterday we went thrift shopping. I do not have nearly as much luck thrift shopping because I have all of the popular titles, or most of the popular titles at any rate. So I typically find very little when I'm thrifting. But my daughter wanted to go with me, and she likes thrifting for other things, and I wanted to show her a nice day out. So we had a mix of thrifting and pawn shopping, which I do find a lot at pawn shops. But these were my thrift finds. And these were actually all from Goodwill, as it turns out, although we went to many other thrift shops. And I went to 4 different Goodwills to get these, and they were 50 cents a piece. And they were VHSs, because I'm going to do an art project or something with VHS horror tapes, and I haven't figured out what yet. But at 50 cents a piece, I figured I could pick up whatever they had. So the Jeff Goldblum starring Hideaway, John Carpenter's Escape from New York. I know it's not a horror film, but I love John Carpenter, and this one actually was never opened. Whoever bought it never bothered to play it. The Lost World, the Claude Rains and Michael Rennie version, and Jill St. John, and another one that no one bothered to open. You can probably see Viola in the camera here. Hey, Viola. H.G. Wells's The Time Machine, another one nobody bothered to open. The Arnold in Predator. Stephen King's Secret Window. Witchboard, The Possession. I thought this one was interesting because I don't have this one on DVD. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, which of course I have most of these on DVD, or on Blu-ray in fact. But the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is a fun little film, but it doesn't have any of the depth that the TV series has. Walt Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I remember always looking forward to this whenever it came on television, because you had to scour TV guides back in the day before VHS. You had to scour the TV guides to figure out what you were going to watch that week in the way of movies. People today don't understand that at all, because for the last 40 years, 30 years anyway, you've been able to pick whatever you want to watch anytime you want to watch it. But back in the day, you couldn't pick that. You had a choice of 3 or 4 channels, and you watched whatever they wanted to put on. Another Witchcraft. Witchcraft, Salem's Ghost. This kind of gives you an idea of what the Witchcraft series is about. You can see scantily clad women and a guy with fangs. So this looks like real Skinamax territory. I have not seen the Witchcraft series, and I probably won't watch it on VHS, but I'll probably get around to watching it on DVD. The Excellent Shadow of the Vampire, with John Malkovich and Willem Dafoe. I think it's Willem Dafoe's best role, and John Malkovich is just always good. The Craft, Welcome to the Witching Hour, and it shows our 4 witches walking towards camera. Young Frankenstein, absolutely wonderful spoof of the Frankenstein movies. You can enjoy it without having watched the original Frankenstein movies, but you get so much more out of it if you've watched the Universal series of Frankenstein films. Starship Troopers, again, science fiction, but you have bug aliens killing people, so I generally lump it into horror as well. I'm pretty generous that way. Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. Excellent film, reviving the Mummy franchise by going in a completely different direction. The Mummy Returns. Not so good. And who'd have thought that a film that was made later would have effects that were actually worse? And I mean much, much worse. When you get to the end of this film and you see the Scorpion King, wow. But it is responsible for bringing us... Who does it bring us, honey?
The Rock.
The Rock!
The Rock!
From Dusk Till Dawn, from Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez.
Is that George Clooney?
That's George Clooney on the front, yeah.
Dude.
He did that, and Quentin Tarantino acts in it. And Quentin Tarantino is much like Stephen King. He tends to really overact. But again, here it seems to work pretty well, because he's actually a person who, his character is unhinged. From Dusk Till Dawn, lots of good guest stars in this one. Classic meta slasher, Scream. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, which I don't really care for, but a lot of people really like it. I think it's because I was brought up on Draculas that didn't have to have a costume change every 2 minutes, that didn't have to have makeup changes every 2 minutes. I like my Dracula Bela Lugosi. I like my Dracula Jack Palance. I like my Dracula to be Christopher Lee. Yeah. This one didn't thrill me, but it's one to hold on to. Pet Sematary, again, were all 50 cents. Stephen King's Pet Sematary. We've got the new film coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. But this one's a classic. Same thing with Child's Play. Really looking forward to the new one coming up. Although I think I know it'll be missing at least something, because Brad Dourif isn't involved, and he's just unbelievably good as Chucky. And this one I picked up, I think, because it just hadn't been opened and it was 50 cents. It was James Clavell's Noble House. I don't know why. And then the Twilight Zone. They had a 3-pack of Twilight Zone VHS tapes, which they charged me $1.49. So, and they're all in their slipcase, and I thought that was a good thrifting tour. But I also bought a non-horror item, a Where's the Beef board game. I just couldn't resist. It was old. If I see an old board game, or even some old toys, especially if they're in the box, I just can't resist buying them, because they look so neat. I don't know how old this is. And of course it's not saying on the box. No, it just says trademark, but it doesn't. Anyway, I'm hoping all the parts are here. And that's my journey to the thrift shop. Like, subscribe, or comment below, please.
1984, according to the internet.
Oh, the internet says... My voice of the internet, my own personal Siri, who I've been married to for 3 decades, says that it's 1984. So, 1984 it is. Like, subscribe, or even comment below. Thank you.